Sometimes the funniest thing about a movie is not the film itself, but all the theories fans come up with even before it's released. As in the case of Coolie, when fans came up with far better story ideas and plot twists than the film itself offered. Hello again, this is Sudesh Kamath. Welcome to FOMO Fix, your guide to film and television. This week on FOMO Fix, we're going to check the hype on War 2 versus Coolie, the clash of the two big ones at the cinemas. Let's see who did better. Plus, a special heads up on the blueprint for mainstream Indian cinema. Sholay completes 50 years. And on TV Gold, a gem of a film that celebrates all things Lokesh Kanagaraj. Coming up. So Lokesh Kanagaraj had 2 years, a free hand, a bunch of superstars, and Coolie is what he came up with. Yash Raj teamed up NTR with Hrithik Roshan for War 2, and we got more deja vu. The battle turned out to be quite one-sided business-wise, but let's take a look at the movies themselves. I made it to the 6 AM houseful show in Andheri because there's no better feeling than watching a Rajini film first day, first show. Directed by crowd favourite Lokesh Kanagaraj, Coolie released on the occasion of the superstar completing 50 years since he pushed open the gates in Apurva Ragangal. The hype was huge given all the powerhouse talent assembled for this collaboration, second only to the Kamal Haasan Mani Ratnam A.R. Rahman collaboration Thug Life. The big highlight in a Rajini movie is usually the transformation scene, the before and the after. Here the only before and after is what happens to Rajinikanth after he drinks from the bottle. Bro, you don't have to be Rajinikanth to show your bad side after a few drinks. That's every guy at the bar after 11. So the morning played out like deja vu. Not just because we had experienced disappointment like that just a few weeks ago, but because of how often we had seen the same beats play out before, either in a Rajini movie or in a Lokesh movie. Like Thug Life, Coolie is a project assembled for the pan-India audience to make Tamil cinema proud. But how do you achieve greatness by walking the same paths you've walked before? The fatigue shows the storytelling so derivative of their previous collaborations, you wouldn't be surprised if it were revealed that ChatGPT wrote the script. No details, all vibes. Anirudh carries most of the storytelling in Coolie, the music informing us of all we need to know about the plot. The stars do TikTok reels to that music, dancing and vibing to it, and Rajiniism is reduced to celebrating him rolling a cigarette across his tongue or drinking alcohol. A celebration of the stereotype. I remember when Rajinikanth had stepped away from the movies around Baba halfway into his career. As people missed him, a duplicate copy of the Rajini brand of cinema with a substitute star standing in became the template for mainstream success. So Coolie feels like a duplicate of a duplicate. It has retained the broad strokes but is blurry on the details. Who is Coolie? The details don't matter. Who and why is his best friend? The details don't matter. Who is Shruti Haasan? Again, the details don't matter. Who is her mom? The details don't matter. You want answers, all you get is a hat tip. Because Lokesh believes we already know who the hero is, what kind of friendships he would have. We know him for 50 years, and maybe Lokesh thinks that the only thing that we miss about him is how unabashedly he would smoke and drink on screen with style. Now Lokesh's scripts have gone from great in Maanagaram to good in Kaidi to middling in Vikram to bad in Lyot and to worse in Coolie. The micro details of characters, the crossing of paths, the ironies and nuance all compromised at the altar of the star. It feels like a complete surrender to the vibes in the fields because, I don't know, storytelling has reached a post-story stage. Maybe all stories have been told and the man is old and all we can do is celebrate him, watch and whistle. Now, Adik Ravichandran's Good Bad Ugly does exactly this, but minus the pretensions of having surprises. Surprise was the one thing Lokesh promised in all his interviews, and the only surprise was that there was no surprise at all. Now, we know and trust the superstar to deliver the most inane of plots, and he's terrific. It's a treat to see Rajinikanth on screen chew up everything, and he does light the screen on fire and bring us joy with pure swag and style. Everyone else around him, except maybe Shobin Sahir, is wasted. Shruti Haasan is wasted, the cameos are fun, Nagarjuna, okay, it's not a cameo but feels like one. Upendra, Satyaraj and Amir Khan all light it up. Spoiler alert, with a BD. Fans who like decoding Lokesh's movies, I have a theory to contribute. Anirudh's review of Coolie was coded into the song Powerhouse. Pay attention to the lyrics of Powerhouse. Make way for the Talavar, stop asking questions, increase the sound and celebrate the vibe. And that's all it is, a Rajini film for the ADHD times. A forgettable film about the unforgettable feeling. That's 50 years old now. Now War 2 doesn't disappoint as much because we knew what it is right from the trailers itself. It's exactly the same as War 1. We knew exactly how good or bad it would be when the plot is just Hrithik Roshan in Salt and Pepper, looked at with homoerotic male gaze and men continuing to penetrate each other with sharp objects, including kebab skewers at one point. We all know it's good versus evil cosplay performed largely in front of green screens. with the thrills VFXed in. It's all good-looking people dressed for a Spanish holiday for Insta Reels who also have to do everything Tom Cruise does in his movies because it's the YRF spy wars, where Tiger, Pathan and Kabir might catch up for kebabs in the mid-credits of some future movie. Except that it's becoming so difficult and draining to stay till the end after nearly 3 hours of pretty wallpaper action sequences. Heroes, anti-heroes suspected to have gone rogue, hunted by the other hero, and they share a past because one taught the other, and then twist, they will fight each other in case the title didn't give it away the first time. This time, instead of a younger brother figure Tiger, we have a slightly older brother figure in NTR, and I've already forgotten about it. We can only pray and hope that big unimaginative films bomb and bomb big. It might be the best thing for Indian cinema if every producer thinks twice before gambling away 400 crores for every other film. Let's talk about the OG blueprint for the pan-India film, Sholay, that completes 50 years today. Sholay understands that the stakes need to be unsurmountable, which is why it needs more than one hero. And the stars are brought in to prop up the script, and the scenes aren't written to accommodate cameos. There has to be one clear goal, and the journey to that goal has to take us through an exhilarating route. Along the way in Sholay, we meet a crazy bunch of characters who today seem like they speak exclusively in punchlines. That was the quality of writing back in the day. Ramesh Sippy along with Salim Javed gave modern Indian cinema its denims, doffing its hat to the Western American genre, adapted to Indian sensibilities, and most of what is today considered seminal to Bollywood's form of filminess. Clever, funny dialogues that entertain, alternating between drama and comedy and music. A lot has been said about the performances and the craft of Sholay, but if we have to think on why did it really work and how did the magic last 50 years, it's because it tried to tread a new path. Despite being inspired and derived in parts, Sholay wasn't about where it was from, but where it took us to. Sholay took us to Ramgarh. It took us to the movies. Make movies great again, may the duplicates bomb and bomb big. For TV Gold this edition, I recommend Lokesh Kanagaraj's debut film Maanagaram, that's streaming on Prime Video. Much before the scale, before the stars, Lokesh made Maanagaram a tight, character-driven thriller with intersecting storylines, real stakes and surprising payoffs with a delicious amount of detailing. Is it possible to capture the spirit of a city? Lokesh does it with a love letter to Chennai and the city life. Through characters torn between the love-hate relationship with the city, some new to the city and some contemplating leaving. It rose beyond cliches and made the common man the hero. Lokesh's heart beats for the underdog and he saves the best of his writing for the underdog characters. Which is why it was great to see the convict and Kaidi saving the police or a lone constable hold fort. May Lokesh Kanagaraj get back to that form, delight us with the little joys of storytelling and surprise us yet again. That's all in this edition of FOMO Fix. Until next time, this is Sudhish Kamath signing off from FOMO Fix for The Hindu. Goodbye.